You know, it's possible to protect or maintain or preserve a shoreline and have access. It's possible to restore a shoreline and have access. A lot of things are possible if we put our minds to it, and if we think the right way about what we're doing. If we have a more holistic approach and a broader view of what we're trying to accomplish. It's not mutually exclusive to have a mangrove fringe and to have a dock, or to have a mangrove salt marsh fringe and not be able to see the water. These goals are not and should not be exclusive, and we shouldn't get into the mindset that it's either one or the other, because if we do that, we're going to start losing the battle, because people that pay a lot of money for waterfront are going to now question why they should protect a species that is now causing them a burden. So I think we have to really look to combine those interests to make sure that we can meet the interest of the upland landowner and also meet the interest of the environment. And it can be done. It's just going to take some creative thinking. It's going to take some creative technologies. These technologies are available, and to implement those. So I'm basically optimistic.
My name is Thomas Blue Fulford. I'm a lifetime commercial fisherman in Manatee County. I've always recognized the importance of mangroves as they related to fishing and the conditions that existed in Sarasota Bay and in the bays throughout our state. We never knew exactly the part that mangroves played in this important role, but we knew that they did play a part. And now it has been demonstrated by scientific evidence and study just exactly what that part was. We knew that as progress, so-called progress, began to move into the state of Florida, as our mangrove forests were pushed down and houses were built on land that used to be prime fishing area, that our fishing catches began to diminish. When we had many mangroves, many acres and acres of mangrove forest, we had plenty fish. And as those forests began to be denuded, destroyed, then the fishing catch began to go down almost in direct proportion and ratio to the destruction of those mangrove forests. We have fished for nearly 4 generations in Manatee County, and I'm glad to have an opportunity to beseech, to plead, to implore, to beg somebody to take steps to prevent any further destruction, and in fact try to enhance and restore those forests to their original natural condition.
Bog and a system of bogs that are in the black mangrove forest here on Sister Key. This bog has 2 feet thick detritus in it. It's covered with about 10 inches of water. This water comes in and goes out with the tide during heavy rains. This detritus fertilizes all the grass flats in the bay. and it's probably one of the most important nutrient-producing areas of the whole bay system.
The history of destruction and abuse of our shoreline is well documented in Tampa Bay and Sarasota Bay, and we've seen people that didn't know what they were doing or didn't appreciate what the damage was going to be when they put up seawalls and backfilled and basically wiped out all of the intertidal vegetation. And we've had people that, under the guise of pruning, have also destroyed mangroves and have damaged the tree beyond its ability to ever recover, to function as the way it should. And I think it's these kinds of examples that cause us to become sometimes reactionary in the way that we want to now protect the species. And I think we have to be careful that what we do does protect the species, and we don't try to pass laws that people won't accept and they will not adhere to. And in fact, it could have just the opposite impact. If a person doesn't believe the law is valid and doesn't believe that it's a fair law, they'll ignore it. And I think that we have to be careful to be fair and not do things that would eventually harm the resource, which is what we're trying to protect. So.
I'm Jim Beaver, and I'm a mangrove ecologist. In a 2-year study, I examined the effects of fringe mangrove trimming on red mangroves in the aquatic preserves of Southwest Florida. I looked in 7 different sites, including Lemon Bay here in Sarasota County. And during that time period, I found that there were no positive benefits accrued to mangrove trimming. In fact, when mangroves were trimmed, there were significant losses in the net primary productivity, the reproductive capacity, and the habitat values of mangroves occurred. This is contrary to what was popular wisdom before this time of the study. And individuals who thought that they could apply normal horticultural procedures to mangroves apparently are incorrect.
Senior Scientist at the Mote Marine Laboratory. I'm here today to emphasize and reiterate the importance of wetlands, and especially mangroves on the Florida coastline. In biology, there's an important principle that the amount of an animal that we value or see benefit in, or that we are trying to protect, is roughly proportional to the amount of habitat it requires. Mangroves are a critical habitat for a number of these animals. both aquatic animals in the sense of sport and commercial fishing species, and also the animals we value for their intrinsic worth or for nature study or for aesthetics. So if there's an opportunity to protect or increase the amount of mangrove growing on the Florida coast, that improvement can be translated to an improvement in the diversity of our entire environment. Please support mangroves.